All right, welcome back, everybody, to the ATP Finals. We're on day 2, and we're starting with Musetti, who 48 hours ago didn't know if he was playing in this tournament, and he's taking on Fritz, which is one of those matches I talked about yesterday where it's sort of, if we're guessing that Sinner and Alcaraz are going to win everything, one of these guys will benefit a lot from beating the other guy because, of course, if Sinner and Alcaraz go 3-0, then it depends on who finishes second. And these guys will be competing for that. Or, they get a win and they could maybe get an upset as well. But if they do want to get through the semis, they have to beat each other to get there. But how are we doing, chap? What's going on? Are we ready for the day? Yesterday was good. We had a couple of really interesting, close matches. They weren't 3-set epics, but they were competitive, right? We had tie breaks in both matches, and it was pretty competitive. Unfortunately, the second match didn't go 3. That would have been awesome, but Shelton just couldn't. He just couldn't get that set point. But here we go, and then we've got Sinner versus Auger-Aliassime. That's coming up in 6.5 hours. So. Not sure who won the doubles, but we can talk about that as well. But how are we doing? $5 million waiting for the unbeaten champion. Is that true? Nice. I'm watching Demons practice. Something is up. Oh, really? With him or with who? All right. With Demon, okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Lorenzo requires finishing quality today. Yeah, we'll see how he looks. Because he played obviously a lot of tennis last week and made the final, and then, if Djokovic decided to not play, even though Musetti was there, it wouldn't have mattered. But so we'll see. Musetti definitely coming in with a lot more tennis, but also maybe more confidence. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the fact that he's played so much might be a good thing. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe it means that he'll be on a bit of a confidence ride. Now, before I forget, like I said yesterday, we're teaming up with Trace for this tournament, and hopefully everybody claimed yesterday because I think it's definitely closed. It closed after the second match. But I haven't claimed my prize for today, so let's go have a look. By the way, link in the chat, link in the description if you want to go check this out. It's a good fan initiative. It's good fun for the fans. But also, you win prizes, and it's free. So, it's free to sign up, and you can win prizes. And the prizes are really good. If you didn't hear yesterday, I'll tell you what the prizes are in a second. All right. So all you got to do is sign up, send an email, and then you get a code, and then you just got to put a username in, and then you're fine. All right, so who am I rooting for in this one? I'm going to go Sinner. By the way, it also doesn't matter who you pick. It's not a prediction thing. So if you don't pick the right player, it doesn't matter. It's all who you're going for, not who you are predicting. So don't worry about,
Hope you have a great match. Enjoy the day. Or
thank you, Robin. It doesn't matter who you pick. So if you picked, Shelton yesterday, it doesn't matter. You could still win stuff. I'm gonna go with Fritz. So it doesn't matter so who you're rooting for, not who you're predicting. All right, there we go. All done. You've got 10 hours. There you go, 10 hours to get this done. Link in the chat. If you signed up yesterday, just jump back on. If you click through the link again, I think it might send you back to it. So if you forgot where to go, and now that I've done it 2 days now. So sweepstake entry for yesterday or for one of the days is Taylor Fritz headband, and now a signed ATP Finals match ball, 5 available. So that means there's 5 different players that are going to sign. We don't know who they are, but that's pretty crazy. I mean, a signed tennis ball, yes, please. So yeah. So by the way, if you weren't here yesterday and you go to do it, it's not based on what day you do it. It's based on how many days. So this might not show up for you today because you didn't do it yesterday, but you'll get this today. And then if you do it 2 days, it's not 2 days in a row, it's not day 2, it's 2 days, then you'll get this. So, yeah. And then tomorrow is the Shelton item, which has not been announced. So it could be anything if you do 3 days. So it's not days in a row, and it's just how many days you do it overall. So there you go. So go check it out. Link in the chat. If you're watching this replay, there's a link in the description. And there you go. And sign up. It's free. And you could win stuff. All right. Players about to come out on court. They're just doing a whole dance and light show to make it all crazy. Rooting for Italians today. Yeah, it's a bit of an Italian flavour today because you've got Sinner and Musetti playing. Now, they haven't got the schedule for tomorrow, but I'm guessing the winner of this match will play Alcaraz tomorrow, and the loser will play de Minaur. I think that's what they're going to go back to, the one group on, one group off kind of thing, because obviously they kind of accommodated for Djokovic and for possibly Musetti or FAA, and because of all the madness that happened, it was it kind of, didn't go the way that they probably had hoped schedule-wise. But yeah. Sorry, Robin, I missed that. What was that?
Hope we have a great match. Enjoy the day. Or...
Thank you, Robin, for the $2. Appreciate that. All right, here we go. Be interesting to see what the crowds are like during the day, during the weekday, if they've got plenty of people there or not. Right. Musetti recently won matches against Fritz. Yes. So the head-to-head is they played 5 times. It's 3-2 Musetti. Musetti's won the last 3 matches, but they haven't played since last year's Olympics. So it's been a while. They did play an epic match at Wimbledon last year where Musetti got the win in the quarterfinals. So yeah, it's been a bit. It's been a long time since they played. Fritz has definitely gotten better since they last played as well. So that's that'll be interesting. And also being on an indoor hard court, maybe like a bit fast as well, might help Fritz's serving, for example. So we'll see if anybody gets if Fritz gets an advantage here. Remember, Fritz made the final here last year, so he did make the final. Musetti has won their last 3 games, but it's been on clay and grass. Yeah, and it's been a while. It's been like 18 months, so it's been over a year. So, all right, people on the camera, just waiting for players to arrive. Oh, pardon me. Time for another anxiety attack. Jesus. On paper, Fritz should win in these conditions. He should, yeah. This should favor Fritz. Want Fritz to win, but I hope Musetti does better than he did in Athens. What do you mean? He made the final. He made the final and pushed Djokovic to 3. How much better can he do besides beating Djokovic? Not relevant to this game, but Sinner is on a 14-game win streak against his group opponents. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be tough to beat Sinner. Respect to Musetti for getting there and best of luck to him. Yeah. I hope he's not too fatigued after last week. He did play a lot of tennis. He's the only guy that played last week, so and he didn't play. He played three setters and a straight sets. But let me have a look. How many hours of tennis did he play last week? So he played 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So what's that? 5, 8, 9, almost 10 hours worth of tennis last week in 4 matches. So he played 2.5 hours against Wawrinka, 2:20 against Korda, 3 hours against Djokovic, and 1:20 against Muller. So Muller being the easiest one. So yeah. So a bit of work was put in last week. All right. I'm just waiting for the players to come out on court. He said he's got the same kid as Demonor. Has he? Well, that's going to be perfectly non-confusing. One wears a hat, though, so that helps. All right. By the way, it looks like pretty packed stadium too, so that's good. Pretty packed for during the day. There's 3 players wearing all black this week. Yeah. All right. By the way, chat, who has everybody signed up and checked and voted for who they're going for today? I so hope one of us gets a prize. I'd be so pumped. We'll have to do. Well, we're going to do. I don't know if it's going to be announced how closely after the tournament's announced. I have to ask the guys, but I'd be so excited if we got a. Because then during the Davis Cup, if it's announced straight after, then it'd be awesome. I think they'll probably do a couple of. Probably have to do a couple of days maybe, but it'd be awesome if during the Davis Cup we find out who if any of us won anything. That'd be awesome. Hey Ming, thanks for gifting a membership. Appreciate that. Apparently I got a tournament pass, but I don't know if that's true. Yeah, so the tier 1 is a tournament. So you get a tournament pass, which I think is like a digital pass. It's not a real pass because when I look at it, it says does not permit to the actual event. So it's a digital, like it's almost like a digital lanyard. So yeah, so it's not an actual, like you can't go to Turin and use it to get in. It says it on the thing. If you click on Vault, you can see it. It says does not permit a physical event, but it's a it's sort of like a digital pass. You can see it now. Okay, yeah. Because I saw that too, and I was like, hang on, did I get tickets to Turin? No. No. So yeah, if you do this during the year, you'll get different passes throughout the season and kind of like collect them. I wish I had checked my emails so I could have seen in Canada, Cincinnati, Shanghai. Hopefully they keep doing it next year because then I'd love to keep up with this stuff because it'd be so much fun. Such a great, like anything that like it gives back to the fans, which is really cool. And chat, that I wouldn't, if you've been part of this channel for 2 minutes, you know that I wouldn't, I'm not going to be just talking about something that I don't think is cool. If I don't think something's worth talking about, I won't talk about it. You got your pass? Nice. I'm not sure what the Nito daily collectible is. I don't know what the daily collectible is, but I guess we'll find out. I think if you go to the vault, now let me show you. If you go to the vault, so there's the digital pass, and yeah, see how it says does not permit physical event into physical event. So I think these are the digital. These are the Now let me check. Also, they do have Formula One as well. If you're into Formula One, they do teamed up with Formula One as well. Yeah, so the daily collectible I think is these. Has yours shown up? Mine just is just maybe they haven't completed them yet. But yeah, so you get a daily collectible as well. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. Might be similar to what we did last year because remember we worked with these guys last year. We were naming the different posters, so it might be something similar to that. All right, players about to walk out on court. Mine's like okay, so yours hasn't shown up either. Okay, good. That's not just my computer. Same as yours. Okay, cool. I voted a few hours ago. It came up as a reminder in my email. Cool. Well, if you missed the reminder, I'll remind you. You got about 10 hours to get today's in for today. All right. Fritz Musetti. This is one of those matches where if they want to get through, they're going to have to win against the other one. I think Fritz is probably going to be the favorite. And he is probably the one that should be expected to win, I guess. But we'll see. I think Fritz is the favorite. He is the favorite? I thought so. So they've only played once on a hard court, and Fritz won it in the Davis Cup Finals in 2022. So it was a while back, but he did win in straight sets. So we'll see what happens. He is fresher, has better results at this tournament on the hard courts overall. Yeah. And remember, this is Musetti's debut, so there's going to be some nerves. We saw that with Shelton yesterday. When, it's a different tournament, Also, the fact that it's debut in Italy, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so much more to it than just, he's playing the ATP Finals. It's like in Turin. Two days ago, he didn't know he was playing. Like, there's just so many things. All right, Fritz walking out. I think the winner of this plays Alcaraz, and the loser of this plays Musetti. Sorry, the loser of this plays de Minaur. Skull on the tree, nice touch. Yeah. I'm waiting for the Santa hat to put on top. But I was watching on Netflix, they've got Guillermo del Toro's closet. What is it called? Cabinet of Curiosities. God, it's really creepy. I love it. And I watched Pacific Rim yesterday, which was intense, but it was good. Definitely, visually, it was stunning. And I also finally got. So I don't know if you have this, chat. When you buy things online, sometimes they come in two packages, and one shows up a week before the other. So you got half a package for like a half a shelf for a week. That's what I've had. But finally, the other half of my shelf for my DVD collection did arrive. So I can now display all my movies on the shelf. But I put the shelf together and I made a mistake, so I have to take the shelf apart to fix it because I put the wrong part of the wrong area, or like one of the side parts in the middle, and I ruined it. So I got to fix it. But luckily, I got like 5 hours between matches, so that's what I'll be doing all night, is fixing a shelf. But I love it. Having the DVDs like all displayed in a shelf, I love it. It's so easy. I'm just going to put them in order. Demon's looking meh to me. Oh no, that means Bublik might play, which is not a bad thing. All right. They're just getting the photos and then warm up, and then we'll get started. All right. So the winner of this will probably play Alcaraz tomorrow, and the loser will play Demon. And this, again, is a crucial match, because if the loser of this match will then be forced to beat Alcaraz. So, or at least will only be able to get through if they beat Alcaraz. So, yeah. This could be a crucial match when we look back in a couple of days. You can get a tennis ball Christmas tree decoration. I've just checked. Yeah, I'm sure you could. I mean, I've got baubles, and a tennis ball would be the same as a bauble. I could make a tennis ball decoration, just put a string on a tennis ball and chuck it on the tree. But I like having a creepy tree rather than a tennis tree. There's enough tennis stuff in here. I mean, the couch is a tennis ball, so I don't need to make the tree tennis related. I can make it creepy, so it looks different. Musetti has improved so much on hard courts. He has. But is he going to be tired? Is he going to be fatigued? Come over the traditional tree. Yeah, I love my little creepy tree. Maybe I'll have to spray it black eventually, but for now, it looks great. You can hear the match on the practice court. Oh, you mean because the practice court must be like just next door, right? What's my pick? I'm going to go Fritz in 3. I'm going with Fritz in 3. All right. Here we go. Warming up. Last year, Fritz made the final. And Musetti, of course, is making his debut. He has never played this event before. And he almost didn't play this event because last week he was not in the top 8. Still not in the top 8, but he didn't know he was going to play until Djokovic said, "I'm not playing." I fell asleep last night as such early morning last night. So who won between Zverev and Shelton? I didn't get time today to check the results. So Zverev won in straight sets, but it was a close second set. Shelton almost went to a third. Imagine a Raducanu-like situation for Musetti. That'd be incredible. By the way, chat, I did see. I know so many people are asking. I don't know what you want, like where everyone, like why my opinion matters. But I saw the Raducanu like not getting the photo. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, did you see it? Did you see it?" It's like, yeah, but like if you know anything about Raducanu and her relationship with the WTA over the years, it's no surprise that she didn't want to get a photo with the WTA CEO. Like, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It probably comes as a shock for people that don't know everything to do with the situation. It's not just like what with her coach getting banned. There's a lot of things that have happened over the years that have, that has strained the relationship between them. So, it's not I don't think it's that big of a deal just because, but again, I get it if you were like, wow, why'd she do that? And you didn't know the backstory. But there's so many little things over the years that she has been done harshly. Like, remember the performance buy that came up a couple of years ago when she went to a tournament she was seeded, but then she didn't get the seeding because somebody else had a performance buy. There was that whole saga. There's been multiple times where she's had to play matches after midnight or start after midnight. Those things have happened. There's been times where she's had to play 2 matches in a day because the scheduling's been bad for her, or there's been times where she's finished matches at like 2 a.m. and then she's had to play the next day in the morning. And it's just, so that's that. But then also you got to remember in 2022, when the points were stripped of Wimbledon, she won Wimbledon and then didn't get to play the WTA finals, even though had that have counted for points, she would have been in the Wimbledon, she would have been in the WTA finals. So there's also that. There's just so many little things. And then, of course, she didn't agree with the coach getting suspended, but the WTA insisted that's what they must do. So she obviously didn't like that either. Like, that wasn't what she wanted. and they didn't consult her. They were just like, we're going to do this. And she's like, I don't want that. Like, so there's a lot of different things that the WTA and Raducanu have butt heads over, So, of course, she doesn't want to, she wouldn't want to be photographed with the CEO of the WTA. So yeah, and there's probably other things that I'm missing. I know there's probably other things that we've talked about over the time where the WTA and Raducanu have not agreed. And yeah, as Fritz hits a lovely volley, Musetti gets there with a backhand, but it's in the net and it's 15-0. So yeah, but it would have been shocking had you not known any of that stuff. Fair enough, but it's not that big of a deal. You can understand if that she wouldn't want to get a photo with, with the CEO. I support Raducanu, but it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, I don't think it shouldn't be a shock, 30-15. But why? Okay, Stephen, why do you think it's a big deal? I feel like it's not like it shouldn't be like this huge drama. It's not. I feel like it's totally understandable from Raducanu's point of view. It's a bad look for the WTA. Is it though? I feel like nobody, like, Chad, is it really that bad? 30-0. I totally get why she did that. What's up with the graphics? Nothing. 30-0. As we just serve into the back of Musetti. Forehand from Fritz into the forehand of Musetti. Musetti's out 40-30. I agree with the Cam. It's understandable. Okay. I don't think it's a bad look for the WTA though. Like, it doesn't make the WTA any, like, I don't think it, if the winner of the WTA Finals doesn't get a photo with the CEO, I mean, when does the CEO ever get a photo with the players anyway? Besides the WTA Finals. I don't think I've seen the CEO of the WTA be in any photos this year. So, was she, I don't remember. Maybe they are, but I just don't pay attention. Anyways, Fritz holds one love. How is it not a bad look? It was not a shock, but it's a loud statement she was willing to make. God, I really don't think so. Like, I mean, it was like, she obviously, like I said, Raducanu and the WTA don't have disagreed in the past on many things, different things. But her not taking a photo with somebody is, I don't feel like it's like, yes, it's great for Raducanu. I respect that for taking a stand and being like, no, I'm not going to be a part of the photo for the WTA Finals winners. Like, that's, I'm not going to stand with the CEO. That's fine, But I don't think it's like, I mean, I feel like there's been crazier things happen over the last 5 years. Like, I like that Raducanu took a stand, but I don't think it makes the WTA, maybe it makes the organization look bad, but I don't think it makes the tennis look bad. As we got a volley from Musetti, 15 love. I don't know. Cam's right. Who cares about one photo? Yeah, it if anything, it just kind of shows. Raducanu doesn't. She's quiet, but it shows. It shows like, oh well, that's what her intent is. That she disagrees with. It was a stand that she took. But I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. For that to, it just shows that, okay, yeah, Raducanu is not a fan of the WTA. But we already knew that. I'm not saying she shouldn't have. Honestly, it's good for her. I'm saying that they would have noticed. Yeah, I don't think it's even tennis drama. I don't think it's drama. Like, it's not. anyways. As we return now to the backhand of Musetti. Slice from Fritz. Musetti with a volley. It's too good. 40 love. It's a wake-up call to the organisers to do better. I mean, it's starting a conversation of people going, why did she do that? And then everyone brings up, oh, well, this, and this. And it's okay. But, and maybe, I mean... Uh, 40 love. As Musetti serves the fault, second serve. As the return goes net by Fritz, it's 1-1. She did the right thing. Yeah, I like... Like Rebecca, I don't have a problem with what Rebecca not taking a photo with the CEO. Is it going to change things in the future? I don't know. Is it like, but I don't think it's like, I don't think we need to, we're analyzing someone who disagreed to take a photo with the head of the organization they've been butting heads with for years. Like, okay. I think that's about it. There's doesn't seem like much more to it. 15 love. 15 love. Yeah, it's not about who. It's not really like who cares. It's more like, because obviously it's like I respect Rebecca for doing that. It's more, I don't think it's a big, it's not a big deal in terms of like people making it out to be like this shocking, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, how could you be so surprised? Like, it shouldn't be like that's the thing that I'm like, the people that are, anyone who's like overblowing it, like in this like humongous, this is a protest and this is oh my God, what a slap in the face. Like, that's crazy. Like, people that are over exaggerating that's crazy. Like that's like, if anyone's going like that, like that's too far. It's not that, it's not that crazy. It's just somebody who said, I don't want to take a photo with the person that runs the organization that I am not, I'm not having I've had problems with in the past. It seems pretty simple. 15-30. 15-30. It tells me that she's not over it. Well, yeah, why would she be? I mean, her coach got banned for 6 months. And if you don't like him, I get it, but she didn't want that. As Fritz hits a long 15-40. Please talk about something else. Yeah, I know. Somebody was, we sidetracked. Anyways. 15-40. Musetti to get the break. First serve is a fault, second serve. No one should be shocked. She's mad at the WTA, and that's been for years, and that's totally acceptable. Totally understandable, sorry. As Musetti, he hit a backhand, but he just kind of shook out his hand a little bit. 30-40. He's wearing a sleeve, Musetti. All right, 30-40. Serve out wide is too strong by Fritz. We get to deuce. Yeah. All right, deuce. As Fritz serves again. A fault, second serve. As Fritz hits it out, and it's advantage Musetti. Just missed it there, Fritz. Advantage Musetti. As the return goes into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz puts it away. We're back to deuce. Good thing, despite her having her issue in the past, she still played the WTA Finals. Well, the thing is that Raducanu doesn't really have a choice, unfortunately, because the WTA is tennis, right? So, like, it's not like Raducanu can go and play another tour. There's no other tour. It's the WTA or nothing. So she has to play under the WTA organization because there's no alternative. You know, as with a slice now from Musetti into the forehand of Fritz. Musetti forehand to the backhand of Fritz. Again to the backhand of Musetti, and then Fritz hits it long. Musetti's got another break point. Advantage. Advantage Musetti. A long service game for Fritz. Advantage Musetti. As we let. But yeah. But when I say I don't think it's a big deal, I mean that I'm not saying that the whole situation isn't, everything that's happened hasn't been a big deal. It's just that I don't think it should be a shock to everybody. As we nice down the tee from Fritz. Back to deuce. I don't think we should be surprised that Raducanu would not want to be seen in a photo with the person that runs, that was part of the reason why her coach got banned, and she didn't want him to be banned. And you could argue that him not being around caused her not to play well, which at the start of the year she wasn't playing as well at the end of the year when he came back. So I mean, who can blame her for that? All right, ace from Fritz, advantage. All right, advantage Fritz as he serves a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Musetti. Fritz with the forehand. Into the forehand of Musetti as Fritz to the Musetti backhand. Again, the backhand of Fritz as Musetti hits a slice. Fritz backhand again, the backhand of Musetti. It's Fritz backhand again to the slice of Musetti. He's mixing it up. Musetti has got a forehand now down the middle. Fritz the backhand cross court. Musetti's there with a slice. Fritz forehand into the forehand of Musetti as Fritz the backhand cross court. Musetti hits a backhand passing shot wide. It's 2-1 Fritz. 2-1. All right. All right. 2-1 Fritz holds. All right. Head-to-head, 3-2 in favor of Musetti. Musetti's won the last 3 matches, but they haven't played on a hard court for a while. And Fritz won their only hard court match. I'm sad about the kid in Australia wrongly treated by his school for excellence in tennis. It was on the news. God, that's why I don't go to watch the news, because sad shit happens. Tennis, what is it? Australia kid. What's this? I haven't heard about it. What happened? I haven't heard anything because I don't pay attention. I don't know what you. I can't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see anything. Nothing's coming up. It was on a current affair. Okay, well I have no idea because it's not on the web. It's on the internet. He got expelled. What, for liking tennis? I haven't heard anything. All right, love 15. Boy expelled from prestigious Sydney school after national tennis competition. Headmaster of one of Sydney's most prestigious schools has defended a decision to expel a hardworking, talented student for attending a national tennis competition. Hmm. 30-15. The boys' parents said they were shocked by the email, claiming their son had only missed 2 days of school in the whole year. 12-year-old Arav found out on the first day of Tennis Australia's week-long invite-only age championships that he wouldn't be able to return to the independent school. I'm not going to name the school because you can read it. You can find it out yourself. I requested he be excused for this week, and they came back with, we are withdrawing his enrollment, expelling him from school. Holy shit, Jesus. What the hell? That's extreme. By the way, we can't come to school next week. You're never coming back. That's crazy. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. That's a bit extreme. See, I feel like that's extreme. Shouldn't we be nurturing talented students? 40-15. We require parents to seek advance permission when their child requires absence from for sporting events and other activities that are not school related. By the way, this kid is like a genius too. It says here, Ara's report card is intimidating with A's in most subjects. So like this kid is like a whiz. Like why would they? What the heck? That's crazy. 40-30. That's crazy. He made the right choice by going to the tennis. And I'm not saying that as bias. I'm saying that as like, that's like, what an opportunity. Imagine if he didn't go. I mean, that's crazy that they would punish him for seeking his dream. As with a volley now from Musetti goes wide, deuce. Yeah. Like that's like Tennis Australia invite only competition. You want to be a tennis pro? and the school kick you out. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness. That's maybe if he was failing school, you could understand, and it'd be like, oh, now he's ditching for tennis. But if the kid's like super committed to school and you just need to, I mean, that seems a little bit much. I hope this kid makes it as a tennis player. That'd be the greatest success is the greatest revenge, or whatever they say. Must be like, I mean, look, it said it's a prestigious Sydney school, so it must be a really strict. Like, I went to a public school, right? If I took a week off, my school wouldn't even notice. You know, like I went to. So this is going from a public school background, right? I don't know how these prestigious schools work. Obviously, they're very expensive and they have rules. More than like I could take 3 days off to go to the tennis, and they probably wouldn't care or notice. They'd be like, oh, he's been gone for a couple of days with it. You know what I mean? So I can't speak from experience. I don't know how these schools run, but obviously they run on a different schedule with rules and stuff. Where like if you don't do things in the right way, then you can get kicked out. But still, I feel like a 12-year-old who was pursuing his dream as a tennis player gets an invite to an exclusive Tennis Australia run tournament, deserves to be nurtured and should be nurtured and not discouraged from pursuing that. Like I feel like this, like any school or any one should encourage that, not discourage that. I don't know. But again, I don't know. I went to a public school. I don't know. Deuce. As the return goes to forehand, Musetti. Backhand now from Fritz. The backhand Musetti is Fritz with a forehand drop shot. Musetti gets there with a slice, but it's in the net. Advantage Fritz. Advantage Fritz to get the break. They don't have an appeal process. I'll tell you what, if you're that family, I wouldn't be going back. But then again, it's like maybe it's worth going. I don't know. But I would be like, I don't want to go back there. Let's go to I'll go to a school that wants me to succeed. Anyways, return goes up from Fritz. Musetti with a smash. Fritz gets it back. Musetti drop shot. Fritz gets a slice. Musetti with another lob. Fritz with a smash. Musetti gets it back with a forehand. And that's a win up. Musetti survives. Deuce. There's more to the story. There's always more to the story. But still, if a kid's getting expelled for attending an event, it's not like he went to go watch, like, you know, Alcaraz practice for a week. Like, he went to an actual, like, invite-only Tennis Australia event. I mean, that's a huge deal. If I got invited to that, I'd be like, see you later, school. I'm going to I'm going to be a tennis player. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Like, I'd be like, yeah, like, hell yeah. Like, what an opportunity, you know? Like, that makes, you know, of course you're going to do that. Like, if he said no to that and he stayed at the school, they might never get another chance, you know? What an opportunity. In such a tough sport to try and make it. As we get a backhand winner from Fritz, it's advantage, you know? So good on him. So, Chad, I'll be a great teacher. I'll be like, oh, you have a tennis thing? Yeah, go. Don't worry, I'll cover for you. Don't worry about it. You're not going to miss much anyway. We're just talking about, like, you know, dinosaurs and stuff. All right, advantage Fritz. Yeah, we're just doing multiplication today. Don't worry about it. As the backhand goes in the volley of Musetti. Fritz with a pass. Musetti in the net. Fritz breaks. 3-1. 3-1. That would be it. I'd be like, what are you going to do? You go, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Where's your, Cam, where's your school? You can do great things. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right. 3-1. Let's lock in now that we're 30 minutes after 4 games. We've talked about Raducanu. We've talked about a random news story of a kid getting suspended for attending a tennis event. Now, let's watch the ATP Finals. 3-1. 3-1. I knew this was going to be a long match. That's why we've been sidetracked. As with a forehand from Fritz, up goes a lob by Musetti. Smash from Fritz. Musetti with a pass. Nope. Fritz gets it with a backhand cross court. It's too good. 15 love. 15 love. All right. 15 love. As a return from Musetti's a winner. Whew, okay. Lovely backhand winner from Musetti on the pass. 15-0. Cam looks so happy when his predictions look right. Yeah, no shit. What, you're saying you like being wrong? Of course not. Also, I think a lot of people pick Fritz, so I'm not the only one. I'm not a genius. You can call me one, but I'm not going to call myself that. Hey, Trishan, thank you for the 40 months. Cam, you would make kids watch tennis for homework in math class. Yeah, that's why I'm not a teacher. 30-15. I just said how shocked and sad, but I know this kid will be up in lights one day. Oh, yeah, this kid's going to be... Like, he sounds like a bright kid, even if it doesn't work out with tennis. He's gonna be successful in something, so, you know. 30-15. Is it a backhand down the line? Winner from Musetti, 30-0. Great backhand winner. Yeah, I think Carlos plays the winner of this match. I think. We'll probably find out. The schedule will probably come out straight after this match. As with a backhand from Fritz, that backhand of Fritz is working real well. He's really making Musetti run. 40-30. 40-30. Serve again. As Musetti returns with a slice. Fritz with a forehand down the line. Musetti with a lob. Fritz puts away the smash. 4-1 Fritz. Nice. And he's made the crowd go quiet. So this is all good. All right. Fritz 30 minutes in. 4-1. Winners play each other and losers will play each other. Yeah. Fritz backhand's elite. One-handed backhand is a weak point. Agree. It's definitely in 2025 something that's can be a vulnerability. That's why there hardly is any, because the two-handed backhand is a lot more solid for the most part. There's only like an exception, a couple of exceptions. Musetti said he won't suggest a one-handed backhand for anyone. Yeah. I have a one-handed backhand, and I say the same thing. Yeah. There's a lot more advantages to having a two-handed backhand than a one-handed backhand. Damien said in an interview that the court is playing slower than Paris, which I find hard to believe. Yeah, I heard the opposite from Alcaraz, though, right? So, I don't know. I guess it just depends on... Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that Demon would say that. Do you think Fritz will win straight sets? No, I think it'll be 3. All right. Musetti to serve. There's no way it's slower than Paris. Yeah. What's the prize money for the ATP? What's the prize money for this tournament? Good question. Last year, it was, because I can't find it for this year. Last year, I think it was around 5 million for the winner. So it's probably similar to... Yeah, undefeated champion will get $4.8 million. I think this year will be more. So this year, we're probably over 5 million, I would say. Unbeaten champion gets less than the WTA Finals champion. Yeah, that's fun. Or not. Joanne, thank you for the 21 months. Appreciate that. All right. Musetti, love 15. As the return goes in the form of Musetti, backhand for Fritz. Musetti hits a backhand wide. Love 30. Love 30. Fritz for the double break and to serve the set. Love 30. Musetti serves again. And Fritz hits a return wide. 15-30. $15-30. We got a fault from Musetti, second serve. Serving to the forehand of Fritz. Musetti with a forehand into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz puts it away. 15-40. $15-40. As Musetti serves. And Fritz returns. Musetti with a volley. Winner. Beautiful cross-court volley. Backhand angled volley. 30-40. $30-40. By the way, Chad, I have something to complain about. First, there's a fault, and I tell you, I don't like complaining, but I have a problem with that's interfering with my Christmas. As with a serve to the back of Fritz, return goes wide and deuce. Chat, there's a radio station in Australia. It's a digital radio station, and it's basically just plays Christmas music, right? But recently, they play 2 Christmas songs, and then they do about 10 minutes worth of advertising podcasts. My God, there's a lot of podcasts that I do not care about. They are like, hey, 2 people talking about relationships. You should tune in, the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why would I give a shit about that? And then the next one's like, comedians and crime. We're doing a funny crime podcast. I'm like, what's funny about crime? Serial killers, but with jokes. And I'm like, this sucks. Play the goddamn Christmas music. And then about 5 minutes later, I get, Jingle Bells. It's like, what are we? I'm like, there are way too many podcasts. True crime with a laugh. I'm like, shut up. Play Jingle Bells, man. And then they play 2 songs, and then it's all again. They do more ads. They're like, hey, you want to listen to country music? Go to this channel. I'm like, no. I want to listen to Christmas music. Please. Backhand rally. As with a forehand now from Musetti, advantage Fritz. It was a nightmare, chat. I had to turn it off. As with a forehand now from Fritz, goes in the forehand of Musetti. Fritz with a slice in the net. We're back to deuce. Oh, man. Too many. Too many podcasts. Too many. I don't listen to any podcasts. I watch movies. I watch documentaries. I listen to interviews. No podcasts. I can't do it. I listen to interviews though. But no. It was ruining my Christmas music. Like, it's fine. Everybody, you can have a podcast, but I want to listen to Mariah Carey sing Christmas music, right? I don't want to hear. It wasn't even about it was like ads for podcasts. I'm like, why are we giving ads for podcasts? I just want to listen to Christmas music. Forward slice into the backhand of Fritz. Backhand of Musetti goes down the line of the forehand of Fritz. Fritz hits it wide, and it's advantage Musetti. Like it was just the ads, the constant advertising of podcasts that I do not care about from people that I don't know. Like, it was just like, hey, here's these two people. I'm like, should I know who they are? I don't know who these people are. A journalist and a comedian talking about crime, and I'm like, I don't know who they are. Two random people talking about relationships. Should I know who they are? Do I need to know? Like, I don't care. Musetti backhand winner, 4-2. I just don't. There was no tennis podcast. I was like, well, that would pique my interest, but it's like, this is crazy. I'm like, just play Mariah Carey. So I had to turn it off. I'm like, I'm not listening to this shit. I'm not listening to 3 songs and then 10 minutes worth of ads. It ruined my Christmas spirit for at least for the 5 seconds. And then I put a CD on, and I put on Mariah Carey anyway because I have it on CD, because that's why I have CDs. All right, 4-2. Too many. Podcasts are cringe, especially the ones where people pretend to be interviewed by somebody. What do you mean? 15 Love? Yeah, I'm more of a, like, yeah, I don't know. I watch YouTube. I don't really listen to podcasts. I watch YouTube videos, and then I listen to music. Forehand goes down the line for Fritz. Musetti with a pass. Fritz lets it go long. 30 Love. Like, I watch YouTube. I don't really. Actually, I do watch podcasts on YouTube, but I don't listen to them because when I'm listening to stuff, I listen to music. But yeah, I just was like, what are we doing? Podcasts must not be very good if they have to advertise that much. Like, they were really just like, the more you tell me, the less I want to see. I want to listen. Anyways, backhand goes wide. They just ruined it. A 30 Love. As Fritz tries to get to 5-2. All right, 40 Love. As Fritz serves. A fault, second serve. Doom scrolling's a menace. Oh, doom scrolling is... Don't get me started. Return goes into the back of the Fritz in the net. Don't get me started. 40 Love. Bublik and Casper are chatty at the net at the practice. Oh, are they? That's fun. I wonder if one of them will get a chance to play. All right, serving to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand it from Fritz to the forehand of Musetti. Is Fritz with the forehand again. The forehand of Musetti. Into the forehand of Fritz. Musetti backhand slice. Into the forehand of Fritz. Is Musetti with a slice again. Into the forehand of Fritz. Musetti slice backhand. Fritz. Cross-court forehand winner. And he stays with the break. 5-2. All right. Talking to podcast, did you see the Draper interview? No. I started watching it. I think I listened to I was watching the first 5-10 minutes, but then I had to do something else. But I'll get back to it eventually. I heard that I heard the part, the start of it where it was they talked about his arm. And then it was progressing and he was feeling better. And I saw I follow him on Instagram, so I see him at the practice courts and stuff. So he looked like he was back on track. But I didn't hear about, I heard that there was some, the doctor said he was good to play the US Open, but then there were some problems that they missed or something. Yeah, I have to listen to it. There's a lot of things that I have to do. There's a lot of things I have to listen to in tennis stuff. And I have to do it because, I want to be up to date with it. But it'll be off-season stuff. There's still so many interviews that Andy Roddick did that I haven't listened to yet because I just haven't had the time. All right. Unliked the interview a lot. What do you mean unliked? Oh, you liked the interview a lot? Is that what you're saying? It was a typo? Lorenzo is not playing or Fritz is too good. This is a very close match. Fritz is just taking his chance. That's chances. That's the difference. Do you think this Fritz will beat Carlos? No. This Fritz is not playing well enough to beat Carlos, but we expected this to be a competitive match. Their head-to-head would suggest so. 5-2. By the way, chat, I do when I say I don't listen to podcasts, I watch podcasts on YouTube. Does that count? I feel like I just watch YouTube videos. Though. I don't see them as podcasts. I call them I just see them as YouTube videos. All right, love 15. I'll listen to interviews with Conan O'Brien does. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Is that a podcast or is that just a... I feel like is that a podcast? I guess it is. And it's 15. I listen to that. That's funny. I don't know. I listened to this this collectible toy podcast called Toy Federation. I listen to their podcast, but they just talk about toys. They just talk about old toys and stuff. It's fun. 15-0. As a return goes the forehand of Musetti, back in for Fritz. Into the forehand of Musetti, shanked long, and it's 15-30. Yeah, I don't listen to any tennis podcast because most of the time they're talking about what we talk about daily, So I don't really listen to unless there's unless Andy does an interview or something, I don't really listen to too much. I do listen to analysis videos from Gil every now and again, or Intuitive Tennis as well, breakdowns of matches and stuff. I'll listen to sometimes, only sometimes, not always, because also I don't want to listen to all a lot of other people's opinions and then just I don't want to get into it's so easy to just echo other people's thoughts, and I want to come up with my own thoughts. So I try to stay away from. That's part of the reason why I don't listen to other tennis stuff as well, is because I don't want to be just echoing other people's. I want to form my own opinions on stuff. And it might coincide with some of theirs, but I don't want to be oh yeah, that's a good point, and then I bring it up, and it's I don't want I don't want to do that because it's so easy to do that. As we ace out wide, Musetti survives. Deuce. Like, it's so easy to do that, to listen to something and then just like repeat it and be like, yeah, I heard this. I'd rather just try and use, come up with my own thing. And it might, sometimes it does, echo what other people have said, but I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I try not to. Unless there's like an analysis of something, like a big final or a certain topic where I'm like, I have an opinion, and then I'll listen to I'll listen to, if I'm like, listen to other opinions and see if maybe so I can get a different perspective on things. But other than that, but you should all watch everything tennis related because, the more you might see things from a different point of view as well. All right, Alexandra Musetti. Has a bit of serve. Down the tee, the forehand Fritz. Return goes forehand Musetti. Fritz backhand goes wide. And Musetti holds. All right, Fritz going to serve the set. That's understandable, Cam. You want to keep it fresh. Yeah, well, there's a couple. That's one reason, but the main reason why I don't listen to other tennis stuff is because most of the time, like, I've already heard that, right? I've already seen that. Somebody telling me about a certain match. It's like, well, I've already seen the match. Unless there's like an analysis that I really want to get into, and really want to like hear someone, because when we're in it, it's really hard to see it. But after the fact. But when there's like, draw previews and stuff, I don't watch any of that because I already do all that stuff. All right, 15 love. Fritz serving for the set. But you should watch anything and everything tennis if you want. I'm not saying that you should do what I do. Don't just listen to me. 30 love. As Fritz serves an ace. It's been a very competitive set. I joined a tennis club this week trying to get back into tennis. Yes! Love that for you, Carlisle. Nice work. Backhand return into the forehand of Fritz. Forehand from Musetti. As Fritz forehand goes into the forehand of Musetti. Slices to the backhand of Fritz. Musetti slices it back. As Fritz with the forehand again. The forehand of Musetti on the stretch. Put Musetti in the net. 40 love. Set points. $40 love Fritz. It's been a long first set. All right, 40 love. 7 to the forehand of Musetti is a let. What do I think about ELO rankings? I think ELO rankings are very, very, insightful. As we just served down the tee into the forehand of Musetti, Musetti in the net. There's the first set, 6-3. I think ELO rankings are. I don't know how they could be adopted into tennis more, but I think ELO rankings are very. I think they're important. They might not tell the whole story, but they definitely give a different. They definitely give you an idea of who's playing well, because it's based on who you beat, not how many matches you win, right? It's like if you beat someone with someone better than you, then you get a better ranking, right? That's what they do in chess, right? Anyways, good set of tennis. 12 winners, 7 errors by Musetti. 11 winners, 9 errors. 11 winners, 9 errors by Fritz. Very competitive set. Fritz got the break, and that was all that mattered. Only one break in that set as well. But yeah, I think ELO rankings are definitely helpful in the way, like they're definitely interesting. I find them interesting. The old ELO rankings had quality points similar to the old rankings had quality points. ELO, yeah, it didn't. The rankings back in was it like the 90s? If you beat someone in the top 10, you got bonus points or something, right? Wasn't it something like that? Like the old rankings used to be based on who you beat as well as what you won. So if you win a title, a 1,000 title, but you also beat top 10 players to do it, you got extra points or something. I find that fascinating. I don't know how it would work. You know what? As a boring exercise to do over the off season, it would be really interesting to adopt those rankings to current tennis. That'd be really interesting to see what the top 10 would look like if the old system was used today. Maybe I'll do that because I'll have nothing else to do. Maybe I'll do that while I watch the cricket. Just sit there and just like... Because that'd be interesting to see if the top 10 it would like mirror the same. It would be interesting. I just have to find out how they did the old rankings and then try to like adopt it into this system. But yeah. All right. ELO is based from chess now. It's used in tennis and basketball. It's interesting. It also is a good indicator of where player peaks. Yeah, true. I mean, it definitely has like okay. So if you don't know what ELO ratings are, Tennis Abstract is a great website for that, and they have an ELO system. And if I'm looking at their ELO ratings right now, so they've got Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, Zverev, Fritz, Demonor, Shelton, FAA, Medvedev, and Musetti is the top 10. Because again, it's based on who you beat, not what you win. But then it kind of does mirror, like obviously Djokovic being number 3, he's only lost to Sinner and Alcaraz, right, most of the time. But it's interesting to see that Medvedev's number 9. So it kind of shows that Medvedev, even though his ranking is like 12 or 13, he hasn't been that bad. I think the most interesting thing is that Lerner TN is number 13 in the ELO ratings, according to Tennis Abstract. Number 13. He's not 13 in the world, right? Rankings. So it just shows like who he's beaten. He's obviously beaten a lot of good players this year, TN, to put him that high, And Fonseca is 16, which we love. All right, 30-15. As Musetti serves again. As the return goes into the forehand of Musetti in the net, 30-0. Bro, you were not audible. Hello. One in the chat if you can hear me. One in the chat if you can hear me. All right, 30-0. And we have a fault, second serve. Oh, it's all good. All right, second serve in the forehand of Fritz. Return goes back to Musetti. Fritz with the backhand down the line. Great shot. Musetti slices it back. Fritz forehand again. The forehand of Musetti. Into the backhand of Fritz. Musetti backhand slice. It's Fritz. Forehand again to the slice of Musetti. It's Fritz with the slice into the backhand of Musetti. To the forehand of Fritz. Musetti forehand down the middle. Fritz forehand inside out. Musetti with a slice again. Fritz comes to the net. Puts it away. 30-40. Breakpoint Fritz. 30-40. All right, breakpoint Fritz. And then Musetti serves an ace. Deuce. All right, deuce. As we default second serve. As a return from Fritz goes long, advantage Musetti. And advantage Musetti. If you had the power to change one tennis match result this year, which one would it be? Ooh. Chat, I'm throwing that to you. That's a great question. As Musetti in the net, we get to deuce. Chat, one tennis result that you would change. Oh, that's tough, though. Let me think. Oh, that's interesting. All right, deuce. As Musetti serves a fault second serve. Keys Sabalenka. Sabalenka Raducanu Berlin. Carlos winning Wimbledon over Sinner. Okay. Grigor. Okay. Madrid final. Djokovic beating Zverev at the AO. Okay. French Open final. Zverev somehow beating Sinner at the Australian Open. Okay. Musetti hits it out. Advantage Fritz. Carlos unnecessarily losing to Draper and Indy Wells. Dimitrov Wimbledon. Keys Swiatek AO. Yeah, Nicolette, that was my first thought too. I was thinking that too. I'm like, oh, it would have been great to see Sabalenka Swiatek Australian Open final. But I like that Keys won though, because the way she won, one of the great Grand Slam runs. Ace is out wide by Musetti deuce. But I like Keys winning because the way that she won, because she won she beat some crazy good players along the way. And Anisimova winning the US. Okay. All right, deuce. As a return goes into the forehand of Musetti. Forehand now from Fritz goes long. It's advantage Musetti. Eala beating joint in Eastbourne. Okay. Andreeva not losing to Boiseau. Yeah, that would have created like the greatest Grand Slam. I mean, French Open was probably still the best Grand Slam of the year for sure. I think it had the best final for the men, obviously, one of the best finals for the ladies, but also along the way, like quarterfinals onwards, it was a great tournament. Such a high level tournament. All the best players were in the semis, except for Boiseau, who had a good run, but everybody else was like top 10. Like it was probably the highest quality Grand Slam of the year. By player involvement, as we had a lob there by Fritz. Musetti with a pass. Fritz with a pass. Oh, sorry, Musetti with a smash, and then Fritz with a pass. Musetti puts it in the net. We get back to deuce. You know what I kind of wish happened? I kind of wish that Osaka beat Anisimova to make the US Open final. Not that Anisimova making the final of the US was great, but she did just make the Wimbledon final. So like having Osaka make the final instead against Sabalenka, I would have loved to see that. And I don't feel like it's robbing Anisimova that much because Anisimova semi-finals was still a bloody good effort. As we had a winner from Fritz. So like Osaka beating Anisimova in New York might be my pick. Because I would have loved to see Osaka in a Grand Slam final against Sabalenka as well. Would have been such a crazy thing to watch, especially because Osaka's trying to win 5, and then Sabalenka was trying to win back-to-back US Opens. Like it would have been a whole thing, Anyways, 4-1 rally. Fritz can't get it. Musetti survives. Deuce. So yeah, I'll stick with that one. I think because I don't feel like that robs Anisimova because she lost the final anyway, but she still has a great year even if she doesn't make the final. On the men's side, though, I don't know. I mean, it would have been interesting if Sinner had won. If Sinner had won the French, he would have won all 4 slams in a row. So, I mean, maybe I love that Carlos won, and that's one of my that match is going to stay in my head forever, and it's going to be one of the greatest matches we've ever seen. In time, we're going to look back on that match forever. But it would have been interesting to see if Sinner won that, because then he would have won. If he had won Wimbledon, he would have won 4 in a row, and seeing that is something spectacular, you know. So maybe, but then again, I feel like it was a win-win. Like, unless you're an Alcaraz or Sinner fan, didn't matter who won that match. It was an epic. But kind of would have been awesome to see to see Sinner win 4 slams in a row would have been pretty insane. All right, serve out wide, too strong. Musetti back to deuce. But I'm not picking that as my pick. But Osaka making the final of the US and beating Anisimova in the semis, I'm sticking with that. I don't know on the men's side. Anyways, good serve by Musetti. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti. Advantage Musetti to lead the second. The return goes to volley Musetti. Musetti volleys in the net though, and back to deuce. I'm just trying to think on the men's side. A result that I wish had gone the other way. I don't know. Because I feel like in the Grand Slams, besides maybe Alcaraz beating Djokovic in Australia, but that was such a classic match from Djokovic. So I don't know. Every final of the Grand Slams was Sinkeraz, and we couldn't get a better final than that even if we tried, you know? Like any change makes it worse. Anyways, volley goes into the forehand of Musetti. Musetti puts away the winner. Advantage. Like if I said, oh, I wish that, you know, Djokovic had beaten Sinner at the French Open, then we wouldn't have been able to get the great final. If I said, oh, I wish that Djokovic or, you know, Fritz had won at Wimbledon instead of the Sinner Alcaraz, then we wouldn't have got Sinkeraz final. So I'm like, there's none of that. I wouldn't change any of that because I love, Sinkeraz finals obviously are the final. But then maybe Alcaraz beating Djokovic, because Zverev Djokovic was not a contest. But then Alcaraz Zverev in the semis of the Australian Open could have been awesome. Holy underarm serve. What a terrible underarm serve by Musetti. That was shocking. What was that? Bublik would be embarrassed. He's probably embarrassed watching this. Advantage, that was a horrible underarm serve. It went long. He hit it long. He wins the point anyway. One love Musetti. That underarm serve went long. He hit it too hard. The crowd were kind of confused because they're like, you're our guy. Why are you doing silly things? That was a horrible underarm serve. And again, Bublik's like, bro, leave them to me. Don't ever do that ever again. That was horrible. But he won the point, so who cares? Ugh. Brutal. Ugh. Never do that again, please. Please don't do that. Bublik personally offended. Yeah, can we get Bublik on the line? Can we get Bublik on the camera? Can we see what Bublik's doing right now? He's probably laughing his ass off in the gym. He's probably on the floor of the gym crying with laughter. Yeah, we need to get a Bublik reaction to that underarm serve, please. Can we get a Bublik reaction? That'd be great. Somebody interview Bublik right now. We need to talk to Bublik. Is Bublik down? Is Bublik in the gym? Go talk to Bublik. I need his reaction. That's too good. Anyways, backhand from Musetti. Nice lob, and Fritz in the net. Love 15. I love that underarm serve. Why? It was terrible. All right, love 15. As Fritz says a fault, second serve. That was so bad, yeah. If he hit it in the net, fine. But he hit it out. Like, he hit it too hard. It was just not it. Like, he hit a deep underarm serve. It would have been the easiest shot for Fritz. He couldn't have... like, man. 15. Oh, that was crazy. 15-0. As Fritz serves an ace, 30-15. uh, 30-15. Brutal. First serve is a fault, second serve. And the return goes into the forehands. Fritz, who seated with a slice in the net, 40-15. 40-15. As Fritz has an ace. 1-all. 1-all. Okay. 20 minutes into the second set. Kyrgios winning against Sabalenka. Cool. And? 1-0. There's been a smash from Fritz, love 15. Love 15. As the return goes to Musetti, back in for Fritz. And Fritz hits it wide, 15-0. Uh, 15-0. If Alcaraz wins in Turin, will he be number one? Yes. He doesn't even have to win. He just has to win. He just has to make the semi-finals, winning all three matches. All right, 15-0. As the return goes into the forehand, Musetti. Fritz forehand goes long, 30-15. 30-15. Serve again is a let. Diminor trained in Spain during his junior years. Is that the same academy as Carlos? Diminor is like 5 years older, so I don't think they would have been at the same academy at the same time. But I think there are different academies, were they? I'm not sure, but they wouldn't have been, if you're talking about would they have known each other, then no, I don't think so. But I'm not sure if he was there or not in the early years, before he went to Juan Carlos. Because Juan Carlos jumped on Alcaraz at like 16, right? So maybe before Alcaraz went to the Juan Carlos Academy, maybe he was. I don't know where he was before that, but yeah, I don't think him and Demon were at the same academy. As far as I know, maybe they were, but I don't think so. Yeah, Carlos was 15 when Juan Carlos Ferrero discovered him, yeah. All right, 4-4 rally. As Musetti goes to the back of Fritz. Musetti slice to the back of Fritz. Fritz puts it away. 40-30. Different academies in the same town? Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Juan Carlos Ferrero academies in the same town. Well, yeah, it would have been different academies because Demonor didn't go to the Juan Carlos Ferrero Academy. So, yeah, they would have been different academies. You can have different academies in the same town. It's not unheard of. Like, yeah. 40-30. Musetti double faults. We get the deuce. Deuce. Would it be better match Swiatek Sabalenka 5-set match? What, instead of Kyrgios Sabalenka? Yeah, I don't know. All right, deuce. As Musetti double faults again. All right, advantage Fritz. Advantage Fritz. All right, Fritz with the break point. Into the backhand return into the backhand slice of Musetti. 4-0 from Fritz. Into the slice of Musetti as Fritz. Forehand again. The backhand of Musetti. He hits a wide and Fritz breaks. 2-1. I think Bublik deserved to play instead of Musetti. Yeah, well, there's no deserving. It's you qualify or not. That's not really, it's not you don't, there's no charity. There's no wild cards, right? You gotta earn your spot. Or not be playing. There's no deserve, If there was wild cards, then maybe it'd be a different story, but there is no wild cards. By the way, chat, don't forget to claim day 2 prize. Signed tennis balls is what you could win if you enter the sweepstakes. So make sure you click the link and sign up. I know some of you signed up yesterday. Don't forget you got to do it. You don't have to do it every day, but if you do it every day, you're more likely to win something. And we have to, as a community, we got to win something. I want us to win something. It's been a long year. We deserve prizes. All right. Nole gave the wild card to Musetti. Oh, God. Musetti a lucky loser. Well, that's a bit harsh. Whoever is outside of it simply doesn't deserve to be there based on their results. Exactly. Now, if you're saying that Bublik would have been more competitive than Musetti, I don't know, maybe. But deserving is not the right term. All right. All right. Fritz with a set and a break. As Musetti returns it wide. 15 love. Do you only have to do it complete the trace event one day or every match? Once a day. So once, you don't have to do it every match. So you just, I think if you, by the way, can somebody check if you click the link and you signed up yesterday, does it just send you straight back to does it send you to the main page? It should send you straight to, like if you're already signed up and signed in, it should just send you straight to it. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, so all you got to do is, you don't have to do every match. You just got to do it. So you don't have to do it like jump on it. It's once a day. As long as you claim the rewards every day, then you're good. 40 love. And obviously pick who you're going for. And like I said earlier, it doesn't it's not a prediction thing. So if you pick, Fritz over Musetti or Musetti over Fritz, it doesn't matter. It's more about who you're rooting for is what they want to see. They want to see, how many people are going for someone over someone else. It's not really about, it's got nothing to do with, you can't get it wrong. You're in it no matter what. As long as you sign up, you're in it. You don't have to get it right. All right. As Musetti serves 3-1 Fritz. 3-1 Fritz. As it'll forehand out from Musetti to the forehand of Fritz. Musetti, forehand goes long. Love 15. Love 15. As the return goes to forehand Musetti. Backhand Fritz to the forehand Musetti. As Fritz forehand goes out. 15-0. Bublik is better than Musetti and Shelton. Cool. But he's not higher ranked than them, so that's why he's not playing. 15-0. Just retire? No, I don't think I will. I'm just going to sit here. You can leave if you want, though. It's okay. You don't have to be here. It's okay. 15-0. As a return from Fritz is strong. Musetti gets it back, though. Fritz again to the forehand of Musetti. It's Fritz backhand cross court. Musetti slice. And as Fritz hits a drop shot in the net. All right, 30-15. 30-15. As the return goes off backhand of Fritz. Musetti forehand to the backhand of Fritz as Musetti slice. In the net. 30-0. 30-0. Musetti serves again. In the backhand of Fritz. Musetti forehand to the backhand of Fritz. And Musetti forehand again to the backhand of Fritz. But Musetti hits a winner. Fritz couldn't get it. 40-30. 40-30. That goes in the net by Fritz. 3-2 Fritz with a break, but Musetti holds. How serious do players take these practice sessions? Turin keeps posting them daily. I mean, they're serious. I don't think they're too serious, but they're fun to watch. I mean, I think they're fun. They're just for us to get an insight, like just get a fun interaction, you know? I don't think they're serious, though. All right. All right. Sinkeraz one was fun. What the match, the practice match, yeah. All right. By the way, Chad, the only issue with doing these matches so late is that by the time this match finishes, there's nothing open, so I can't eat anything because I don't have any food. Oh, no, that's a lie. Past Cam put things in the freezer. Chad, I thought I was stupid. But maybe 2 days ago, I was smart. Do I have a fridge? I do. Okay, 3-2. As Fritz serves an ace, 15-love. Lots of criticism of Musetti, but no one knows how he's physically. By the way, Musetti was just punching his leg at the change of ends, so obviously physically he's in pain. But you got to remember as well that the people that are yelling and screaming about Musetti are the ones that had losing money on Musetti for the most time, right? Most of the people that are like, "Oh my God, Musetti, quit. You're a disgrace." They're not fans. They're just losing money. They're angry because their bank accounts, they made a bad choice. That's why they're angry. They're not pissed off at Musetti. They're actually angry at themselves. And they didn't watch my preview. 30-love. They saw the head-to-head and went, Musetti's going to win. You got to watch more tennis. You can't be casual. You got to be in it. Musetti is, he played well last week, but man, he's got to be tired. And Fritz won their only match on hard courts. And they haven't played for a year and a half. So people getting upset with Musetti are not, they're just projecting, I think. I don't think they're actually upset with Musetti. 4-4 rally. There's a backhand cross court to the slice of Musetti. And then Fritz puts away the forehand. 40-love. 40-love. Let's go Fritz. Got money on Fritz. Odds were in favor of Fritz. There you go. They didn't know that Musetti won on natural surfaces. Wait, what? Oh, you mean clay and grass. As Fritz serves an ace. 4-2. I'd be pissed at Novak if I was Musetti. Why is that? How's Fritz tired? He's not tired. Why would Fritz be tired? Yeah, I don't know why Fritz would be tired. He had a week off. And he also didn't play that much in Paris because he's been, since that final in Tokyo, he hasn't won that many matches. So Fritz for the last couple of weeks hasn't been playing as much because he hasn't been winning as much. So Fritz has got to be a lot fresher than Musetti. Because, the last time he played was third round Paris. And before that, he didn't play. He only played one match or two matches in, I think, Basel, right? So he hasn't been that active, Fritz. As that goes out by Musetti, 15-0. $15-all. As Fritz with a lovely backhand win across court, 15-30. All right, 15-30. $15-30. As the return goes in the forehand of Musetti. Lovely drop shot, Musetti. 30-0. 30-0. Musetti trying to hang on. As the backhand return goes in the net by Fritz, 40-30. Novak made him play a tournament that he didn't need to. Yeah, but I don't think Novak's to blame. 40-30. I don't think it's as simple as like, well, Djokovic could have just withdrawn a week ago. Like it's Musetti, he needs to take some blame. The schedule is obviously to blame. That's the ultimate blame, right? As that goes in the net by Musetti on the drop shot, Deuce. I think the schedule not ending in Paris is to blame. I think that's the real thing. And Musetti said as much in the press conference. He said, I think that the end of Paris should be the last week of the season. And I think that's what's going to happen, right? So that's, and look, yeah, Musetti should take some blame as well for not playing well before Athens, like having to play Athens, right? He put himself in that position by not playing well enough ahead of, before that. He well and truly had it in his hands. It was his spot to lose, and he lost it in Paris because he just didn't play as well. So, he also has to take some blame, for having to play Athens because he let himself down a little bit, So again, I think it's Djokovic's fault that he had to play last week. Djokovic didn't make him play Athens. All right. Musetti holds. And it's 4-3. Fritz with the break. Look, Musetti could have lost to Wawrinka in the first match of Athens, and then Djokovic still might have retired. Again, there's a lot of factors that could have happened. But also, I don't think Musetti's losing this just because he is tired. You got to give Fritz some credit. Fritz on this indoor hard court is pretty damn good. Yeah, Musetti lost to Sonigo in Paris. That's forced him to have to play more. But we won't have this issue next year. It's a no-brainer that we should finish the week before the ATP Finals. Like we shouldn't have the last week of the year because players that need to qualify are going to play, right? How many players pulled out of Metz and Athens once they knew they couldn't get to the ATP Finals? Everybody, right? Ruud, Medvedev, even FAA, he withdrew, right? We saw that on the women's side too. Like so many players withdraw once they know they're in. Pegula, as soon as she qualified, she cleared the rest of the season. Paolini, same thing, right? Players are going to, as soon as they don't have to play because they qualified, they're not going to play. Unless it's a 1,000. So, the WTA did the same, they did the same thing. And then Rybakina played as much as she had to. And as soon as she won that match to qualify, she pulled out, right? So, again, that's just the way it is, Musetti, by the way, tapping his legs out. But yeah, and I'm sure that Musetti will not say anything bad about Djokovic because it's got nothing to do with Novak. It's the scheduling that was the reason that Musetti was forced to play. It wasn't, or that no, sorry, not for, he wasn't forced to play. It enticed him to play because he was like, well, I need points, so I better go get those points. You know. So again, blaming Djokovic is silly. You know. Also, Novak doesn't owe anyone anything. You know, it's not up to Novak to seal Musetti's fate. Novak can't help Musetti. I mean, he gave Musetti the chance to play. I mean, did the opposite, right? Djokovic could have easily just rocked up here and Musetti wouldn't even been playing. So yeah, you can't blame a player. You can't blame Djokovic. He's not to blame. There's been an ace out wide from Fritz, 40 love. As frustrating as it was that, that it was up until the last minute that we got an answer, it's still not Djokovic's fault that Musetti signed up in the first place. I mean, Musetti got a late wild card, right? I mean, Musetti wasn't supposed to play Athens until he had to, We have to blame someone. Yeah, blame the schedule. The decision to make Athens and Metz worth points for the ATP Finals, that's what caused it. If that doesn't happen, which it doesn't next year, if Paris is the last tournament, Musetti would never have played Athens because he wouldn't have made any difference. So it's the schedule. It was the scheduling that was the problem. And it's all Cam. It's not my fault. I get it. I get blamed enough for curses and jinxing and all kinds of magical, mystical stuff. So I don't need to get blamed for the schedule as well. I already get blamed for being a wizard. So I don't need this in my life. I get blamed for cursing people. So it's not I'm not taking the blame for the schedule too. I'm not getting enough. I don't need that in my life. 15 love. Musetti serving to stay in the match. As the return goes into the backhand of Musetti. Backhand Fritz into the forehand Musetti. To the forehand of Fritz is Musetti. Forehand again. Fritz with a slice. It's a drop shot. Musetti gets it with the backhand. Fritz with a lob. Too good. Just outplayed. 15-0. 15-0. And at the end of that day, Musetti gets to play. Even though it might not be in the ideal preparations, the end of the day, Musetti does win by playing. Who's to say that if he had a week off that he would have performed better? I mean, maybe, maybe not. But Fritz is also pretty good on indoor hard courts. Good lob by Musetti. Fritz with a tweener. Musetti with a volley. Too good. 30-15. We got to give Fritz some credit. He made the final last year. Musetti was also lucky to end up in this group. Well, yeah, I mean, Musetti, this is probably the better. I mean, after seeing what Zverev did yesterday, this is probably the better group for Musetti anyway. FAA's got to play Sinner and Zverev looked unstoppable yesterday, at least on serve. And then Shelton, if he starts to come good after some early nerves, I mean, that other group is it seems a lot more awkward. And Musetti playing Sinner, I mean, that's no fun. So I think this is probably the better group for Musetti anyway. At least he's got a good record against De Minaur. He has a good record against Fritz, or at least a winning record until today. Now it's going to be level after this. And then against Alcaraz, I mean, Musetti has competed well against Alcaraz in the past. So I think Musetti probably rather be in this group. Anyway, 30-0. As we serve. Double fault. All right. Match point Fritz, 30-40. To take the win. And you can definitely tell that in the second set, Musetti's legs are starting to go. He's played a lot of tennis. And it sucks because he's got to play tomorrow as well. So not only does he have to, I mean, he's got to play back-to-back days, which we're guessing, but he has to play back-to-back days as well. Hopefully they put him on tomorrow night. Give him a little bit of extra love. As we return now to the volley, Musetti, backhand passing shot from Fritz is a lob, but it goes long. Deuce. All right, deuce. As Musetti serves a fault. Second serve. As return goes the forehand of Musetti. Backing up for Fritz to the slice of Musetti. As Fritz forehand goes long. Advantage Musetti to keep things going. Advantage Musetti. Musetti serves. Into the back of Fritz. Musetti forehand again to the back of Fritz. Into the forehand of Musetti. Musetti hits a winner. All right. He holds. Fritz going to serve for the match. All right. All right. That was an incredible clean match by Zverev. Yeah. Zverev played crazy. Like he was so efficient. Such an efficient match for Zverev. All right. Musetti should just be happy he even got a chance because Nole pulled out. Otherwise, I don't think he wins singles match here. Okay. Zverev's performance was amazing, and so was his temperament. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was so solid. It's crazy. Like, he did not... His serve was just ridiculous. Zverev versus FAA is interesting. Hope both at their best. That'd be fun. I mean, Zverev versus Sinner is... Zverev versus Sinner is going to be crazy too. Speaking of Sinner, we got him coming up in 4.5 hours. So that's fun. Fritz played well today, yeah. I mean, early in the first set, Musetti was leading. It looked like Musetti was going to get off to a good start, but I guess luckily for Fritz, he was able to hang on and then eventually, sort of outlast Musetti. And Musetti gets the first point, love 15. Sinner Zverev going to be good? Yeah. That'll be on Wednesday, I think. Pretty sure. All right. Love 15. There's a bit of fault, second serve. Sinner Zverev is going to be so good. Yeah. As Fritz serves a let. The crowd's gone wild for every Fritz mistake. Serving to the forehand of Musetti. Is it a backhand for Fritz? The backhand of Musetti. Down the line of the forehand of Fritz. Musetti with a forehand. Into the backhand of Fritz. To the forehand of Musetti. Fritz. Backhand cross court. Musetti gets it. Fritz with a forehand down the middle. Musetti gets it back into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz overhits it. Love 30. Uh-oh. The crowd's come alive. Love 30. Love 30. Dangerous time for Fritz now. This is the last thing Fritz needs is the crowd to get back into it. And they're getting loud. They're going crazy. If he serves a fault, you know they're going to scream. All right, Fritz serves. An ace. Ooh. That was clean. 15-30, but the crowd is still vocal. They're still making noise. Serve is a let. And the crowd yelling and screaming. Fritz serves another ace. Jeez. That is clutch. All right, 30-all. By the way, chat, Fritz, most aces this year. He is the number one ace machine. Serve butt, kind of. But Fritz's ace, he's hit over 800 aces this year. More than anybody else on the ATP. As the return goes short, Fritz forehand is in the corner. 40-30, Fritz with match point. Yeah, that hit the corner. That was a great shot. Fritz right in the corner as well. God, Fritz has done well here to quiet the crowd down, but also just get to match point. 40-30. 7 to the back of Fritz. Sorry, Musetti, then Fritz with a forehand winner. Fritz wins. Ooh, that was getting ugly. At love 30, it was getting crazy. The crowd was going nuts, but Fritz did exactly what he needed to. 2 aces, quiet the crowd down, and then he hit a great forehand winner. And he takes his first win in straight sets, and that could be important because every set might count. You know, if like same with the Zverev and Shelton match. If it comes down to, to 3 players that are on the same head-to-head, on the same win-loss, and it'll go down to that. So winning in straight sets is a big, big deal when it comes to the count back. But good win for Fritz. So I think he plays Carlos now. I think that's the situation. And Musetti will play against. And I think Musetti's going to play against Demonor tomorrow. And I'm sure they're going to put Musetti on tomorrow night, give him the extra break. Also Italian, give him the night session. And then Alcaraz versus Fritz will be the first match tomorrow. Again, I don't know if that's the exact schedule, but I'm guessing that is what they'll do. Because they're not going to put Sinner on tomorrow as well. After today, I don't think. All right. 3 players won't be on the same? What do you mean? There could be 3 players on the same. If Alcaraz beats everybody, and then everybody beats everybody else, it could be 1 and 2. Like everybody else could have one win, 2 losses. Mathematically, that could happen. So if Fritz loses to Alcaraz, Demonor beats Musetti, and then wait, how would that work? How do we get 1 and 2? There's a way to do it. There is a way to do it. If Alcaraz wins everything, Fritz beats Musetti, Demonor beats Fritz, and then Musetti beats Demonor. Yeah. Demon beats Fritz, Musetti beats Demon. So the three other guys beat each other, one beats one beats the other, one beats the other. They all lose to Alcaraz. Then yeah, that's how it works. That works. That makes sense. See, I make some sense sometimes, right? And then it would go on sets 1, and that could happen. Like the 3 guys, Alcaraz has obviously got a good record against all 3 guys, but I mean, Fritz and Demon are 5-all. Musetti can beat Demon. His head-to-head would say he could. So, yeah. It could definitely be a 1-win, 2-loss situation combined, equal between the guys. Demon ain't beating Fritz. All right. You'll eat your words. You'll all eat your words. Demon's going to win a match. God damn it. Yeah, 3 and then 1-1-1. Yeah, exactly. It would be kind of crazy if Musetti beat Demon and then qualified for the semis off one win. That'd be kind of wild. I don't know how that would happen. He'd need Demon to beat Fritz pretty badly, I guess. And then he'd need to get a set off Alcaraz probably. But it could happen. I like FAA, but truly hope Sinner comes out like a Terminator today. Yeah, we'll watch that in about 4.5 hours. Going to be a good ATP Finals. Cannot wait. Exciting. Yeah. We just have, I feel like, we've had a couple of really close matches, but we haven't had that epic 3-setter yet. On the women's side, it was the same thing. Like day 1, it was sort of straightforward. Day 2, things started to get crazy. Do you think Sinner will win tonight? Yeah. I do. Not impossible. Remember, Sabulkova out of Radvanska won with one match? Yeah, exactly. It can happen. It is possible. By the way, chat, again, we're working with Trace this week. Don't forget to claim your prize for the day. If you didn't claim yesterday, that's okay. You can still sign up and get into the draw for many prizes. Also, you just got to click the link, free account, and I think the sign up is like email. You get a code, and then you just put in the username, and then you can sign up and be in the draw for prizes. Who doesn't love prizes? We all love prizes. Sinner versus FAA will be entertaining. I hope so, but it could be also like Cincinnati, where it was one-sided and nothing. And it was really one-sided. And Sinner on indoor hard court in Italy will be very tricky. So Sinner may lose. You never know. Nah, Sinner's not losing. Zverev's the only one that I think Sinner needs to be concerned about in the group stage. Sinner just beat Felix in straight sets in the final of Paris. And this is a faster court, so you'd think it would be even a bit more advantageous for Sinner. I hope Felix gets a set, though. That'd be fun, because we need a 3-setter. We haven't had one yet, but I'm not holding my breath. FA should have been in Alcaraz group. Would have made it more exciting. Yeah, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Sinner is going to be super prepared. Yeah, for sure. The Zverev match will be the interesting one, though. At this point of time, Alcaraz versus FAA was needed. Well, they could play the semis. You keep saying Alcaraz. Please don't spam. All right, chat. I'm out of here. I need to go fix my bookshelf that I messed up because I was winging it. Not a joke. True story. But we'll be back in like 4 hours. So jump on over here and I'll talk to you guys. I'll see you guys soon. But Fritz wins 3-4 and he takes out Musetti, or it takes Musetti the win over Musetti, and he is now one win to the good, which means that, again, we have to get confirmation, but Fritz is actually number 1 in the group now, based on games, because he won easier than Alcaraz. In fact, he won, he has a higher winning game percentage. So, so it goes, Fritz is 1, Alcaraz 2, Demonor 3, and Musetti at 4. But I'm pretty sure tomorrow is going to be Demonor, Musetti, and Fritz Alcaraz in that order, or in some order. So we'll wait and see if that is what's going to happen. But I'll see you guys in about 4 hours for the Sinner versus Felix Auger-Aliassime match. Fritz, 6-3, 6-4. He gets a win.